Listen and bless at the same time. Use it for the blessing as well. That which is listened to is for samsara, everything of samsara. Let it be one with samsara, whatever you listen to. Not to take into oneself. This is not about grasping. That which is you listening now has to be one with samsara, is to be shared. All the conclusion that is given in every sentence is to be given, not to take in for oneself. Otherwise, it will turn into blockage, because there is only one's own benefit, but not benefits for others. Everything is not to be grasped, child. No matter how many Buddhas who always giving the essence must be given instead of taken into oneself. There is no such thing as nibbana for nibbana, liberation for liberation. When there is grasping, it's impossible to become nibbana or liberation. Liberation has to be used for helping, not to take into oneself individually, not at all. It is to help end for all beings, for everyone, for samsara. Therefore, it's impossible to take in for oneself alone, because Buddhas give something that is ungraspable, child. If you can grasp, if you can be fixated, it's impossible to be liberated. Liberation is for help. It is giving something that is impossible to take. Therefore, you need to give further. This is not the system of grasping for mindfulness or concentration, for stillness or indifference, or peace for peace. That's not the way. With everything, you must conclude well. Non-attachment is on its own, not to be grasped. With everything, it has to be beyond peace already. With everything, non-attachment is on its own. Non-attachment to the non-attachment itself. Putting down the putting down itself, there is no need to put down anything. To put down this or that, it's gonna be quarrels. First of all, one will quarrel with oneself. There will be a complaining about ability to put down or not, because there is an identification within the putting down. Put down the putting down itself instead. Letting go as well. Letting go is on its own. Letting go of the letting go itself. In our problems, there will be no quarrels within oneself or others, no conflicts within oneself or others, or anything whatsoever. Listen to that which gives ending within no time, ending within the ending itself, and use this essence as a reminder for samsara, for all things. The word put down towards the putting down itself is meant for everything. This is the reminder that is balanced with all things and samsara. This is nibbana, to bless. Nibbana, blessing samsara. It's not nibbana and that's it, by gone. Conclude well, child. Because there are a lot of belief values, all the projecting for attainment, practicing for attainment, grasping for understanding, mindfulness and wisdom. This is the delusion and desire and delusive attachment, is the belief values. Grasping for that which is not to be grasped. This is full on in the whole world. this kind of belief values. Therefore, it's going to be a lot, child. Just like everyone must give up the giving up itself, let go of the letting go itself, disengage from itself. No taking anything into account within oneself or anything whatsoever. Whatever one say, also don't take it into account. Others as well. Because whenever you take in anything, there will be a delusion that it follows. Oneself or other is the same. Therefore, cease the ceasing itself with everything, disengage from itself, don't follow even oneself or anything whatsoever. With everything, just disengage on its own, cease the ceasing itself. Just like this, ending is there. And proceed, opening eyes and ears inside and outside balancedly. Open up. The mighty force of the purification of extinction and emptiness will be there automatically. There is not much at all. There is much because of the delusion to fabricate, to practice for attainment. That's why it's a lot. The grasping mind is a lot. Therefore, it's a lot to be taken. Emptiness is not about grasping. Nibbana is not to be grasped either. Whenever you use grasping mind with Nibbana, the grasping mind will just go further and further. Nibbana is not to be grasped. Putting down is not to be grasped either. Otherwise, it's not gonna be true putting down. Letting go is not about grasping for the letting go. That's why letting go must let go of itself, putting down the putting down itself. Don't go further to somewhere else. Don't go further. Once letting go, let go of itself is done within there. Letting go of itself within there. That's done. This is not using an identity to let go of this and that. There is just an identity overlaying the act of letting go. Therefore, step back, disengage from itself, letting go of itself. It will end all about attempting to let go or to disengage or to not attach. That's it. Eyes and ears that are opened like this, it will become blessing automatically through the purification of the extinction and emptiness and not otherwise. The letting go of the letting go itself is all of the sila. Disengage on its own is the same. Letting go of the letting go itself as well. Everything is sila. Sila that has nothing within it. Sila that has no identification in it. With everything, the letting go is on its own. Letting go of the letting go itself is out of the mindfulness. The mindfulness, which is the kind of cutting itself. Nothing is in there. No overlaying on top of mindfulness. It cuts through itself. The letting go of the letting go itself is all of the mindfulness that cuts through itself. It is not to practice for attainment of mindfulness, not about practicing for knowing and seeing. That is mundane, is samsara. In order to end, the cutting must cut through itself, disengaging on its own. Don't go further, lengthily. Let's end shortly, end within no time, so that later on it will not become in the way of sustaining mindfulness, practicing mindfulness, sila that has nothing within it. If sila has significance in it, it's not true sila. There is delusive attachment overlaying on top of sila. There is identification that is fixated on sila. With everything, the let go is letting go of itself. That is the mindfulness that cuts through itself, not the kind of mindfulness for the sake of itself. It's the wisdom that cuts through itself, not about something within wisdom. In this way, it's ending. There is no need to go around to waste the time. Being direct that purifies itself, ending within the directness. There is no need to waste the time to go around. Listen shortly, don't think more, don't interpret further. Otherwise, it will turn into one's own opinions, one's own tithi. Fabricate further and further, and one will circling further and further also. That which is given is ending within no time, ending within itself. Just listen and follow accordingly, and use it with samsara. Don't interpret further, because that which is refined is ending within no time already. Nothing is left, even a tiny bit. There is no grasping even a tiny bit that is left, ending within no time. With adding more opinions and meanings and interpretation, it turns into fabrication by one's own self that overlaying on top, and it will just circling further and further within itself. Listen and use the reminder to cut through constantly. Just like this, child, there are no complications here. For water blessing, just go ahead to bless samsara. Go ahead. Use both palms, open up on one side, sharing the perfections for all beings, for samsara, blessed beings. It's all good. For oneself, there is nothing that is interestingly to be grasped. It's temporary. It's given as temporariness. Just use this temporariness to be beneficial, to be something that is brightening for samsara, helping through unwinding and releasing, helping through ending. Don't let it become a waste. Birth, old age, sickness and death, and it's a waste. Don't be like that. Be part of these blessing beings, ending all together. When blessing, Luang Po used perfections, Nirodha Nibbana, for blessing, so that you have power to help end for samsara as well. Lead others or the children to do water blessing. The mind will just give for samsara. Liberation will be happening automatically, naturally. Raise children, don't just feed them. Raise them through their souls, leading them towards opening as giving for the physical and samsara.